We are back, and I'm so glad that we came back because while we're back this time, we're with Dr. Lee. She's gone ahead and told us in our previous discussions about inflammatory breast cancer, why it affects men, how important it is about those young kids as young as 12 who've gone ahead and lost their life at such a young age, how her diagnosis is just a little bit different than the other ones that are out there, what NuWellness is and how they give back to the community. And what makes this particular segment so different than any other is that we have guests who've come on our show to tell their experience of how they've used these services and how that's changed their life. So I'd like to introduce Miss Valencia, Mother of Divinity, coming into us from Chicago to tell her story of the results of going ahead and using that test. So if you could go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us your story, I'd love to have it. Still can't hear you.
Mother is Valencia, Mother Diva.
Mother Diva, could you go ahead and unmute yourself, please?
Okay. All right. There we go. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yes.
You're smart and center. There you go. It's all yours.
Yes. Look at that beautiful smile. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not used to Zoom. I don't use it that often, so I'm trying to get acclimated to it. So, I met Dr. Lee in 2012 when she came to Gary, Indiana, to speak for the MJ Fanvention, which was a convention that continued the legacy of Michael Jackson. And I had an opportunity to interview her. And we actually spoke, well, I had a conference online phone conference that I did in June of 2012, and she actually called in and listened, and I remembered she was trying to say something, but she forgot to unmute herself. It was so funny. And then I met her that following August, and I interviewed her for the MJ Fanvention, and we kept in contact and developed a friendship. And she became my holistic doctor. And I remember her explaining to me that she did not want me to, she asked me to stop getting mammograms. And she told me, she said, to get an ultrasound done of my breast. And because mammograms have radiation in them, and they really don't show precancer. So she even told me, she said, you can ask your doctor to get the ultrasound, but most likely they'll say no. To her surprise, they said yes. So I started getting ultrasounds of my breast. So I had been dealing with a lot of other health issues. I had had severe digestive issues and just a ton of other health issues that were happening to me. And I said, you know what, I gotta get to LA so I can get this CRT 2000. She had told me about it. She said that this screening will tell you what's going on in your body. And so COVID broke out, of course, last year in 2020. And because of COVID, I host and produce shows here in Chicago, so I'm considered an artist. And the Three Arts Foundation was giving all the artists $1,500 grants. So I made it my business that when I got my grant money, that I was going to use that money to go to Los Angeles to see her. So in the middle of COVID last June, and I was masked up. I was taking all the stuff, the vitamin D and the diatomaceous earth and just a ton, oregano. I didn't want to catch no COVID. I just took a bunch of stuff so I could get on the train. I had my own room to get to LA to see her. And she gave me the CRT 2000. And what it showed was that I had a pre-cancer cell in my left breast. It also showed that my lymphatic system was blocked due to my sinus conditions. And I was so appalled because first I already had an ultrasound of my breast done in January of 2020. I saw her that June. The ultrasound of my breast showed everything was fine. So even though an ultrasound may be better than getting the mammogram only because of there's no radiation in the ultrasound, it still doesn't show pre-cancer. So she found this pre-cancer cell in my left breast, and she told me what product to get to start reversing that and working on it. I believe it was called BR115 or something. She can explain what that is. But I was more upset about the lymphatic system being blocked because I've been to 7 sinus doctors, and I even saw a neurologist, which is a person that deals with brain to ear issues. And she said, all you have to do is dry brush your skin. So I went to the dollar store and got a brush, and started brushing my skin until I was able to order the correct brushes from Amazon. And when I started dry brushing my skin, the lump that was underneath my neck disappeared. Just simple things. What I love about the CRT 2000 is that whatever it shows, because it's been FDA approved for breast screening, but it also can help with other conditions in your body. There can be simple little things you can do to reverse this, okay? And I was just so honored that I was able to catch these things at an early time, and that I could work on reversing it. And she offers a wide variety of services in her office. She gave me a metals and minerals test. I found out I was taking too much silver. I had to cut back on the silver because I was scared to get COVID. So I was drinking silver. She said, stop that. And I can send you a link to the video where she gave me that test. She gave me a cardiovascular screening. This woman is a lifesaver. She has saved so many people, and I'm so honored to have her as my doctor. And I'm planning a trip to come back to get retested. So I would recommend, there should be no one in California or Los Angeles sick at all with her being there, especially all these celebrities that are getting sick. I'm constantly tweeting and Instagramming and Facebooking her information. I mean, if people are sick in LA and they know about her, it's because they want to be sick. She can literally reverse your health conditions so you can live an optimal, healthy life. And I thank the Holy Spirit for her every day. I'm just so happy that I met her.
Wow. Valencia
Thank you
Mother
so
Diva,
much.
it is
Thank
so wonderful to hear those words. I know that I saw you on Facebook and I connected with you, and this is me, Rosalind Kahn in person, the funny lady who said, oh my God, that's you. I want to just read this one thing here. There's someone else who's coming in the room here, but there's one thing I want to read to you about Dr. Lee, and this is from her biography. It should come to you as absolutely no surprise that Dr. Lee is a 4-time Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, volunteer service. She received twice from President Barack Obama and twice from Donald Trump. It doesn't matter what politics, they still recognized her. She helped to pass a bill making October the Inflammatory Breast Awareness Day, and she received her 2019 Her Story Award from the Women's Federation of World Peace that I'm a member of, for which she serves as an ambassador. And she is so well liked and respected. We just have another person who just called in. I'm sure they've got something else to say. So I'd like to ask the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, do you have any words of wisdom you'd like to share about Dr. Lee's experience and the experience you've had with her? Well, I guess Galaxy Note 10 Plus wanted to go ahead and bypass up on that opportunity. So there you've heard it. There's no better testament to what someone does than to have people like Doris and people like Valencia go ahead and share their own personal experience.
Thank you.
And the thing I want you to remember is she does this from her heart, her own money, because she really wants to help people out. She goes out in the community and she serves and she gives to other people. And I'd like to go ahead and wrap this up and just say, Dr. Lee, is there anything you'd like to say to the audience about your experience of being an interview today on this show, Community of Unity, and what you'd like the world to know as I once was in that seat where you are today? And what would you tell people the experience has been from your perspective on the other end?
I want to say, Rosalind, you were a very great speaker. I like the way you summed everything up. each time we took a break and came back to it. So people who maybe didn't even hear at the very beginning, it's great the way you summed that up. You did a wonderful job as an interviewer, and I really thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you
Can
so
I
very
say
much.
one more thing?
Sure.
Okay, Dr. Lee, can you share what you told me to get for my breast? It's called 115 something.
Well, the reason why I don't talk about treatment or
Okay.
anything, and it was a little bit different than that, is because
Oh,
everybody's different to walk in. And
okay.
I don't know to what extent everything is happening, because it's not, I don't want people to get the wrong impression thinking they come into a natural doctor
Oh,
or
okay.
natural
Because
medicine
each person,
is,
each
yeah,
is a different,
it's different.
probably a
And I don't
different
want them to think,
herb or
medically
something.
that you walk
Okay.
in and I'm just going to tell you take some herbs, take some supplements,
Right.
and you
Right.
have cancer. That will put out the wrong message in the community as well.
Okay.
So, I say do the CRT thermography first. I'm not going to talk down on mammograms, mammography. I'm not going to do that.
I'm
But
not
what I
getting
say,
any more mammograms.
but
None.
do this first. All I say is do this first.
Great. Now, I mentioned before we went on the last break here that you had a book that you had that was coming out that I know that you're really proud of. Can you just give us a quick snippet about that book that you have, Dr. Lee?
Yes, the book actually is an audiobook right now called Written Before I Was Born. It's an audiobook, which now I'm turning it around, put it into a written book because it's never been a written book at all. And Written Before I Was Born is just that I have a song that goes with it. It kind of sums it up. Written before I was born. I wrote the hook. Written before I was born. Destiny had to conform to a path I had already won before I was born. And if a person take that into their life, and know, she put a copy of it up there on the screen. Valencia did. There it is, written before I
Wow.
was born. So
That
now
is
that's the audiobook, which the audiobook now is going into a written book. There is a the last CD in there, which people are not using CDs anymore, goes to show I dated that, which is coming out you'll be able to go to iTunes places to purchase it. Very, very minimal amount of money. It's called Detox the Mind and the Body Will Heal. It is a meditation that takes you through from the top of your head to the sole of your feet to take you through a complete healing through meditation. I used it on myself when I was diagnosed with colon, abnormal cells. I've had a whole lot of things happen that I've been able to heal through this process, through this journey, just by lying there, bringing in and just praying and seeing God just take over, starting to top of your head, sole of your feet. So it's called Detox the Mind and the Body Will Heal. Because you're not going to heal with unforgiveness, bitter heart, all these things going on. You're just not going to heal. You got to let go. So now I tell people do a detox forgiveness daily, because it's always something chiseling around with us that we need to let go of it, let go of it, let go of the anger, let go of whatever somebody did to us, let them go, forgive them, and move on. So it's almost something you need to do daily, a daily detox.
How do
wow.
you do it, Dr. Lee?
You first see it as a thought. Say, if I need to forgive someone. There was one person in my life, I really felt God just forgive me if I didn't forgive him. And that's my ex-husband. So but I said, eventually, I was younger then, a lot younger. And I went through I had to chisel through it. I had to first see it and think about it, and then finally start saying it out loud, I forgive him, because it was a lot to go through, but I forgave him. And now he's my patient. After I forgave him is when my cancer markers for my colon started to drop, even though I had changed diet, did a lot of things changing. But once I finally forgave, and when you finally forgive someone or something and chisel through that, you just feel like floating. You feel so light. You're not heavy burdened with things. But it's a thought. You first think it and have that thought of forgiveness, and then go through it of forgiving, not to excuse what they have done, because something kind of illegal, or not so much legal, that could be harmful. But we have to find a place within our heart. Because unforgiveness is like me drinking a cup of rat poison and hoping you'll drop it.
Does it, is it deep breathing, like you lay down and close your
Yes,
eyes?
there's a whole breathing exercise to go with this. So it
Okay,
takes you through the whole meditation, and you will sleep really, really well because you're going through this and letting go of stuff of yourself, getting rid of that pattern and what's sucking at your DNA on an emotional side. You have to let go of that. And when you wake up, you really feel great.
Wow. Wow. Well, that is going to be a wrap for us. I really appreciate all the time, all the guests that you went ahead and brought off. We want to thank TeeLee for that wonderful background that she had made. Thanks, Galaxy Note, for going ahead and coming in. Thank you, Doris's iPhone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Valencia. Thank you, Dr. Lee. It's a pleasure and honor to be with you. My name is Rosalind Kahn. This is Community of Unity, and we're always interviewing amazing people to tell their stories. Please follow me on all social media. And we want to say from the bottom of our heart, gratitude beyond words, and namaste. Have a good one. Thank you so much.
Have a great. Thank you.
Thank you.